Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. For those of you first time here, my name is Tim. After working for 30 years with 2 jobs, I finally able to retire. My house is paid for. I got a full pension and all benefit. So it's one of my goal is to travel to all 48 lower state and try to do it, with the least amount of cost. Which the only way you're gonna do it is travel in a minivan, which you can convert into a camper van. So today, I'm gonna introduce you to my Toyota 1999 Toyota Sienna, and I will go through each section of the vehicle. So for the sake of time, this video is probably gonna be a long video, so I'm gonna divide them up into sections, and then I'm gonna put time on the section so you can just jump straight to it. I'll come back and view it later on. So anyway, let's go talk about the vehicle first. All right. So this is a 1999 Toyota Sienna minivan. It's one of the first generation that Toyota produced. So why did I choose this vehicle? First of all, it's cheap. I bought this car for $2,300. I know there will be other maintenance that had to be done on it before it be roadworthy. So I'm probably gonna go through and point out all the stuff that I done to it, and then I'm gonna put the spec somewhere here on the vehicle if you wanna check it out. So this vehicle have 192,000 miles when I bought it. So I knew that I have to do a timing belt and water pump on it. Okay, if you don't, on the road you're gonna be stranded if the belt broke. And this maintenance item is very expensive. If you have to have somebody else doing the job, it's gonna cost between $700 to $900. So as you can see, I did this myself. So I bought total part water pump and belt and all the accessory belt on the side for $150, and I did it for my. Nowadays YouTube's so available that if you have the right tool and the will to do the job yourself, it's easy to do it. So I did. Beside that, I also changed out all 6 spark plug. Cause 192,000. I have no idea whether the previous owner changed them out or not. So I might as well do the job. One other part. This is another expensive maintenance item because it's a V6, 3-liter V6, and as you can see, 3 cylinders in the front and then 3 way in the back there. So the shop will charge you around $200-300 to do this job because they have to take out this intake manifold and pretty much everything right here to get to the rear of it. But I had my way of doing it because my hand, as you can see, is small and skinny enough. I was able to take all those spark plug out using a bunch of adapter and extension and do it from here, and then from here. Part is around $60 for 6 plug. I also did, it was leaking along here on the valve cover. So you have to, I replaced the valve cover to stop the leak. It's also leak on the oil pan. Let me see if I can get it down here. See the oil pan? I don't know if you can see it from here, but in order to stop completely all the leaks, oil leak, you have to change the gasket for the oil pan also. And unfortunately, the catalytic converter went bad on it, so I have to replace the catalytic converter. It's one of those things that if you live in California, you can't get away with a bad catalytic converter. The catalytic converter cost me around almost $700 for part. I tried to put it in myself, but I wasn't able to, so I ended up having to pay a muffler shop to put it in for $260. So it's around $1,000 just for the catalytic converter. I also changing out all the engine mount. There's 4 of them total. One right here, one down there, one on the transmission mount, and then one way in the bottom of the engine. Another item that I changed out also, well, I didn't change it out, I rebuilt it, is a power steering pump. This car is 21 years old, so everything's pretty much worn out. So I bought a kit for about $10, and it took me almost 2-3 hours to rebuild it. So sometimes it's better off just to buy the part and replace it. So that's the item right there. Let me see, I can point it. I'm not sure I can point it or not. That item right there, that's the power steering pump. And I did that myself also. So along with that, the boot, the dry boot, not sure you can see the axle right there. The boot cracked, so I replaced that one also. The part is around $75. But if you have somebody else do the work, it's gonna cost a lot of money. As you can see, also there's a new I have new sway bar extension. You can see the new part with the red thing right there. That's the sway bar extension bar. Because there was some noise that I wasn't sure where it came from, so I replaced that because it was kind of loose also. And you can see, and I also changed out because there was some noises came from the transmission, so I wasn't sure where it came from. So the cheapest part that I can change is the wheel bearing. There's 2 of them. One, and whenever you change anything on the suspension, you have to change it in pair. So I replaced 2 wheel bearing, 4 new tire. Cause I'm gonna be traveling a long distance. I want to make sure the tire is good. Run me about $500 total. So the reason I chose this vehicle, because as you can see, the clearance, this vehicle, the clearance is like an inch and a half higher than the normal minivan. So that's why I like this generation of Sienna. That way, when I go, on a dirt road, it might give me a little bit more clearance. So that is the vehicle part. So including all the repairing costs and the cost of the vehicle, it probably run me around, I would say 4,000 to 4,500. I didn't keep track of the cost, but they less than 5,000. So if you plan on getting a minivan, well-used minivan, plan on to have it fixed. Otherwise, just pay 5,000 and get a decent minivan right away, and you better opt that way. Because I use this van as a daily driver, so I sometimes carry passenger and other stuff that I bought from Home Depot, so I need to have it available, for carrying cargo and passenger. So right now, behind me, you can see it is set up in such. So let's go in the back and check out what's back there. Let's go through the van as a passenger mode. So you can see in the front, I can comfortably carry 2 people. And then in the back, possibly up to 3 people with the seat configured like this. While I still have the foam for the mattress, for the bed, and the box. We will talk about that more as we go. And because I didn't want to carry this stuff in and out, so I leave one of my homemade laminate floor, and I'm leaving it here that way to keep the dirt out. So let's go over the blackout curtain. For a lot of people, van developer out there, they prefer to use reflectix, but you know, using reflectix is great, but you have to put it up and take it down every day when you're living out there. So I prefer something that, you know, it's already set up. All you have to do is push it and get it out of your way. So right now you can see the curtain was set up to behind me on the normal passenger mode that will not block my view that Amber will see to both sides and the rear. So let's go over to the, yeah, all I do, I attach them through here. I wouldn't do that on a newer vehicle because they have airbag. This is an older version, so it doesn't have a side curtain airbag. So don't do that if you have a newer version minivan. But what you could do, you see how they have slot right here? You can slide them in there, try to slide it in there, bend it in such a way to slide it in. So for side curtain, I also use curtain for the side. But in terms of using the rod like the front, I use this snap button that right now I don't have this in because I don't need it on the passenger mode. But it takes less than not even 10 seconds to put them up. Because right now I store them behind here. All I have to do is take it out and snap it up there, and it's good to go. So the mattress and the box stay in here all the time, so I don't have to keep move stuff out, in and out. So yeah, you can see the rear one, I leave it here, but I tuck it away. Once I got everything in, I will show you how it looked like as a camper mode. Yeah, it's snap in. That's all it is. I can actually take them out if I want to, but you know, it's good to have them. The rear one, I also have curtain for the rear, and you can see all the snap button there. It took me less than not even a minute to put them up, so no big deal. Once I get to my campground, I will set up and it will stay like that for a while. So this is the rear compartment. So let's go check, the center compartment. So let's go check in the rear what I have back there. So this one I built, it's not a box, it's more like a little frame that I use 2x2. You can see the frame how I built. Pretty simple build. But I like to use this, flip up and down so I can get to stuff. This one functions as a bed platform, part of the bed platform. So I will talk more detail when we get to the camping mode. So why didn't I make it a box? Because this vehicle does not have a spare wheel inside, but rather outside, right there. So in order to lower that thing down, I had to have access to this right here to lower it down. So I have to have this open, which is fine. Later on, I might do something else, like put a little flip up here so to extend. By the way, when it's in camping mode, this will be my cooking area, my kitchen area. I will show you what it look like once I'm switching to camping mode. All right. Oh, welcome to the camping mode. So let's go check it out in each area. All right. Well, if this seemed like a repetitive tour, because it is, but it's tailored to my new build, which I upgrade for better. So if you a previous subscriber, I will put a quick jump to the stuff that you want to see. So check that out. All right. And let's go to the front of the engine, then we're gonna start from there. So I don't have solar power panel as a mean of supply power to my minivan. So I'm using this, go straight from my battery to a fuse. This is a 60 amp, I think, fuse. So it going here all the way down to the bottom. Let's see if I can show you where it's gonna hit. Let's see here. Should be right there. And go up to that. And then come up to here. See, from the bottom floor, it should up here. And then come across here. And that's how the power is going to go to my power supply. So this is the camper mode while traveling. So right now, this is my power center. Right here is the light that hooking up to the Jackery 240. This will be mainly my power supply for lighting and charging up my electronic equipment. But I do have a power inverter. It's only 750 watts, just enough to run my rice cooker. This, I can only do this while the engine running. So it took about 15-20 minutes to cook rice. So no big deal. I will cook rice while I'm moving to the next location. So to power it on, press the button down here. You wonder why that hole is, right? So I can see what's going. So right now it's 330 watt because it's in a warm mode. That's why it's taking 30 watt. So you don't want to leave this thing running all the time. So I'm going to turn it off. But in the future, if I want to, I can have a solar power panel up here coming down and then go straight into the Jackery 240. So right now there's a plug that you can use to plug anyway, since we're here, let's power on the fan. To keep cool, I use the fan, which run from here all the way up to here. This is a Walmart special, $12, $12.99. I already tested this out. This fan will use up in 8 hours about 20% of that Jackery. Right now it's reading 97%. So that is supplying power for the fan during nighttime to keep me cool. And the light. This light. So this is bright enough, should be able to provide light. Here, let me turn it off and see what's the difference for you to see. Yeah, this light have a different color type. So right now it's white, kind of warm color. That's a mix, warm and white. You can dim it, brighten it. All right. So everything can be turned off and on right here. I'm gonna turn up the light there, turn up the fan there. So each of these, there's a 120 volt outlet coming out here also. This is not enough for the rice cooker to run because only 240 watt. So if I want to run that without having an engine running, I need to have a 500 watt one. But they want like $500 for it, so I'm not gonna spend $500. Since we are already here, this will be, let's go inside. Anyway, this here is, I will call it my living room. Right now, it looks messy because I have everything set up in a traveling mode. But this here is the emergency toilet. This is for number 1, and this for number 2. I bought some of this stuff from the pet store in Walmart. It's pine shaving, so they smell good, and it will absorb the moisture if I have to use it. But I don't plan on using it. Hopefully not. This is just for emergency. I don't like this too much because they take up a lot of room. But for now, I'm just gonna. That's for my backup. Oh, let me put my number 1 container back in here. You gotta keep everything in the same location so you don't have to look around. It's a small living area, so you have to have a place for everything. Since we are here, I'm gonna show you how it should be like. If I stop, this folding table will stay like this when I don't use it. That way, it free up this area for my living area. So let me put you down, and then I will show you what it look like when I'm done. So this here is my dedicated area for lounging, kind of like a living room. So I can chill, watching movie from there, from in the front there. So let me set it up, the folding table that will serve as whatever I want to use it for, right? All right. I'm going to demonstrate to you how I can do pretty much everything from the inside without having to go outside. It's kind of dark in here, sorry. Yeah, let me turn on the light. Remember this fan? That's a fan and light. So let me put some light over here so you can see better. So I should be able to do everything from inside here. So let's say I need a table to put to read book or eat. You know, when you have inclement weather outside, when you can't be outside, you should be able to set up from the inside. Voila. There you go. Let me turn on the light here. There you go. This will be my table for doing work, eating, whatever. Right? Now back to normal living mode. All right, let's go on the other side and see what it looked like on the other side. So I was gonna ditch this container because it was inconvenient to use, but this just gonna be storage for water. This is not my main water supply. Once we get to the back, I will talk to you about a kitchen in the back. This is a storage for 6 gallons of water. This gonna be pretty much my storage area for my backpack. Whatever I use often, I will leave it up here. Paper towel. Back here is, I guess down here you can call it a garage, whatever. In case you all wonder why I insist on having this folding bike, 20-inch folding bike. Because if for some reason this vehicle fails, at least I can have another mode of transportation to get somewhere faster than walking, right? The last thing you need is being stuck somewhere mile and mile away and have to get back to civilization. So this is better than walking. So it doesn't take much room. Of course, when I get to the destination of camping, this will stay outside and then it will give me more room here. Let me show you. If you put this out of the way, this, I call it bed in the box. There's the reason for it. So I fold it up, take the bike, leave it outside, and now you have walkway to go on this side or go on the other side. Either way. But I'm gonna leave this down so that way I can show you what's under here. This is a bed in the box. I will put the link to this box, how to make it, the video that how to make this box. You can see when that seat, this seat fold down, it's the level is equivalent, same height as this. Yeah, this box is custom built. So let me show you why this would have to be custom built. See, as you all know, the floor on a minivan is not actually flat. It's kind of sloped. So right now you can see from the bottom to the top is 17 inch, roughly 17 inch, right? Look what it is on the front. See, it's not 17 inch. So yeah, as you can see, as you go toward the rear, it's getting shorter and shorter. So this box had to be custom built. This box is part of the bed and it's also the part of a closet. So let's check out. Yeah, the bed. This box is very simple build. I will give you a link on how it was built. Right now you can see is I barely use 50% of the capacity of this box. These two plastic container hold enough underwear and short and pant and for about a week. You don't believe me? I'm not gonna open it, but I also have one of these satchel bag from the military. That is my emergency suitcase. This is enough to hold all the stuff that I will have in here. All right, this is my closet, and this is the top part of the bed. That's why I call it bed in the box. This one I've been revised so many times I forgot. I think this is number 7 revision. So it's flat here, and the platform in the back is flat. So that's why it become it's 6 feet long total, 6 feet, and the thickness of this cushion are 6 inches. So I will you reveal. Oh, by the way, all these cushion I made it myself. So I gave you the link in the description box also. All right, this is the bed. Let's go to the back where the kitchen is. Welcome to the back side where the kitchen is. So like I said, in the front I have 6 gallon water in that blue container, and then another 2 gallon for this. This is a pump that you can pump the water out. This will use as my sink. I will use this as my sink, and below it is the stove. I'm gonna put you on pause and set it up for kitchen area in the morning. All right, so I can fold the seat down in the morning, have that there, wash my face, whatever I have to do from inside. I don't have to go outside to do anything. Or set up my stove to cook food. So I can set it up to cook something in the morning, breakfast or some hot water for coffee. Water is right here. So where's my pot? I forgot to bring it out. But all the kitchen stuff will be stored under here. So I designed the system so that way everything's accessible from inside. Don't have to go outside. See how from here, flip it up. All my stuff is in there. Cooking ware and everything from there. All right, we're gonna go to the back and check it out. Yeah, before we go in the back, see how the lift gets lift up. So now, even if it's raining outside, I still can stand here and cooking from here if I want to. But anyway, this is my second backup butane stove. This is my cast iron pan. You can go up here. Cooking breakfast in the morning. Let me see what this is. Oh, these are all my stuff that I will not use a lot. This is the rocket stove, which you can use either alcohol gel or firewood. There's a tire pump in case it go low. This is for splash guard for the stove. That stove over there, if I want to use it. Like I said, I can access all this from inside. Oh, I also have another backup 200 watt power inverter if needed. If the other one failed, at least I still have this. So let's move to the other side. Like I said, I can access pretty much everything from the front. Just moving over. Right here is all my cooking stuff. Pot, pan, cooking stuff is in that container. And below this is my tarp that I will use to set up a kind of awning outside when it's sunny. All kind of knick-knack out of stuff. Let me see if you want to see it. This is the Sportman heater. In case it's too cold, I can use it to warm up the vehicle. Only in the morning, not when I'm sleeping, because I don't want to die. Oh, by the way, I do have a carbon monoxide warning. Yeah, this is tarp that we use to set it up. Some stick, pound it down. Lock, pump, bicycle pump, repair kit, tool for the bicycle. So I haven't used it all yet, so I probably put more stuff in there if needed. But that's pretty much it for the rear area where the function as a kitchen. Switch it back to kitchen area here. Yeah, it doesn't take much to convert it back to whatever function I want it to be. Let's put this away. Put that away in there. Flip this over. Close the lid. Go back here. All right, let's go to the front and put everything back. So let's put everything back to living area and bed. Let's see how long it takes. Let me sit back here. You gotta adjust this thing right. Certain angle of comfortable. All right. Cushion go back here. I go back up here. Pillow go back up. And there you go. Back to bed mode. Bed mode on this side. Living area. You can see right here. Let me give you a view what it look like when I'm sitting down. Yep. That's how it look like. I guess this can use as a footrest. Right? Put this back into travel mode here. You don't want this thing to flip over while you traveling. There you go. Back to driving mode. Yeah, I don't have all the curtain installed yet. It only take like maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds to put that one up, and another one put it up here, behind here. So, and the curtain in the back doesn't take long either. But that's it. That's the tour of the van. Well, thanks for following me for the van tour. I think this a little bit long video, but it has to be long in order to explain everything that I do. I do believe this is very simple build. I mean, all you really need is build this box and another frame in the way in the back that level with the seat when it's fold down. But I will put all the video that relate to how I build this on the description box. So if you are first time on my channel and you'd like to follow the journey I'm about to take, right for now, I will do mostly a weekend trip, maybe 1 or 2 nights on the weekend. And then eventually I will take a longer trip, which is go across a few states at a time. I probably will do a month streak of traveling between state, and then do a loop, kind of like a loop, circle loop, and then come back home, take a little bit of rest, and then do another month. That way, you know, I don't get tired out. But I build this van camper so it be self-sufficient. I don't have to rely on taking shower. You know, on the road, I can sleep practically anywhere. Cause this from the outside doesn't look any different than any other minivan out there. So, but yet it still provide all the comfort of home, somewhat comfort from home. But thanks for watching. I hope you subscribe to the channel and follow me on my next journey. So take care and have a good day. Bye now.